Monetization. We all want to be able to monetize efforts that we put into our book. We want to be able to um, build our impact, reach more people, and in the end, be able to sell more books, courses, coaching, consulting, group sessions, all of those items. And that's why it's really essential to start planning 6 to 12 months ahead when you're getting ready to publish a book. If you're doing a relaunch, it's very similar thing. So let's talk a little bit about some of the ways that you can be looking at monetizing your book and what you're doing to get out there in the world. So first off, we always want to make sure that you're looking at that community aspect. What is it that you are offering? How are you engaging with your readers? How are you engaging with your prospects, people that could be potentially readers? Many times individuals will look at that funnel, look at how will we get people in the door? And that could be with a special report. That could be with a first chapter of your book. One of the things that I love that I did with my book, Media Magic, was I offered everybody that purchased the book would actually get an audio training for free. And so in the audio training, obviously you want to sell the benefits for them. What's in it for them, what's it so special, and really that added bonus is something that I would use when I was going on the radio or doing interviews to be able to monetize my book. I wanted to make sure that, it's great to sell the books on Amazon, but I wanted to make sure that I was also, if I could, maximize the most amount of sales, get them into my list and things like that. So for me, part of the monetization is creating that package or that bundle to be able to buy that book, and then look at the flow and the funnel of what they're doing. Have you created any sort of courses? Have you created any sort of continued education? Are you doing one-on-one coaching to be able to support them on your journey? And so I love what Juliet does. I think this is so essential. I kind of kid around and I call her the queen of quizzes. And I have to say, one of the really powerful things that I've seen people use those quizzes for is having people self-assess before they get started, or when they're reading the book, or after they read the book. But those quizzes, why that can help you with monetization is, first off, it gets people engaged in what you're doing. It also gets people to really self-assess. Where am I at in this process? Do I need to hire this person? Do I need to work with this person? The way that she crafts the questions and the way that her system works really allows those people to move from not just curious, but also desiring and wanting from the questions, wanting to know more, and wanting to engage. I've seen those quizzes being used to, from that point, once they connect and able to get on the phone with you, then you can start looking at where are those places that you can put them. We work with a lot of authors that do one-on-one coaching. We work with authors that do group coaching. So depending on what is that best piece, after you've done the quiz, it can be setting up a one-on-one. I know what I love about Juliet's quizzes is that it allows you to kind of filter the prospect based upon their answers. And so you can determine, is this a warm lead, a hot lead, or somebody that's just, really wanting to learn more about themselves. And so from that, you can set up 3 different funnels to be able to monetize it. And so through quizzes, I actually have a friend in his book that from that quiz and that self-assessment and being able to go on that journey in the book, and then to be able to meet with this individual, was able to close 5-figure VIP days from that. They were like $16,000, and it was using that monetization strategy of the quizzes. So as you can see, just that one campaign or that one piece, these are things that take time. And this is why it's so important to really work with a strategist, work with somebody that can help you map out not only the book and the book publishing and bestseller campaigns and things like that, but also what is that monetization path and what are the pieces that go along with it. So let's just talk about the quiz for a minute so that we can look at what planning might take place. Well, first off, you have to determine what's your ideal client and what are the questions you're going to ask. And I have to tell you, I met with Juliet one time on my next book just coming out, and we were talking about some of the questions, and her questions were brilliant. And they were things that I didn't think of. And there's a certain way to ask questions. And so it takes time to really put those pieces together, right? Then you have to build a website. And you have to connect the website to emails, or if you do emails and text and some of the automation pieces, how will you automate that? You have to have images that are created, branding that's created. You have to write copywriting for that. So, and then from there, you have to test it and start generating traffic. And so, as you can see, I've just listed a few things that may sound simple, but these take time. And so it's really important when you're working with your monetization plan is to look at, that time plan and put together that map. So those are a few ways to do that. Some of the other things that I love in monetizing the book is being able to bundle it, being able to put it together in various packages, so that it allows people to engage. As I mentioned, obviously there's the free recording or the recording that comes with it, but also I've bundled these with various consulting packages or group packages, and things like that. I have to say the group coaching and the group connection, whether you're doing a resource piece on social media or you're literally leading a course, these are all things in the monetization plan that you want to start looking at. What's the journey you want to take them on? So one of the simple things that we often will look at is, can you deliver just a 4-week course? Is there 4-week training that you can do that will help move people in a journey that follows along with it, with that wisdom that you want to share? And so in that 4-week course, the first time you do it, absolutely recording it, because then you can create something that is evergreen. And evergreen meaning that you can use this and replay this and automate it and never have to record it again. This could be something that becomes an automated system. And so in this 4-week course, why that can be a very powerful way to monetize is that people can really get to know you. They can get to like you and trust you and want to do business with you, which will help generate some of those higher sales. And so another model that I've worked with and looked at is using that. And some people will, there's another model of giving their book away for free and then selling a course like this that once it's automated for under $100. And why you may say, okay, that's not a large amount of money, and but what it does is people can easily say yes to $47, $57, $97. I'm picking 7 because there's a psychological thing that goes along with that number. Whatever that number is for you, and if you can automate that, then they get to know, like you, and trust you. And then once you get with them after that 4-week course, then you're able to start looking at selling those 5-figure packages and programs. And so these are really some of the key things with monetization. I have to say, I love working with Juliet, and I know she's Juliet, I know you asked for me just to share content. I just want you to know that I love the fact that there's somebody that gets marketing, that gets publishing, that gets all the different aspects of it, but can actually help you put together that strategy, that monetization plan. And so if you have this book in your heart and you're ready to write it, absolutely move forward. Look at those pieces to get that out there in the world, but also look at the entire business of being an author, the entire business of writing a book. If you like to speak and use your book to sell, if that's a way to monetize, it is being able to sell it at events. You're going to have to start building your speaker portfolio. You're going to have to put together a speaker sheet, and some of these events, it can take 6 months to a year to be able to get booked with that. So hopefully I've inspired you to look at the various ways to be able to monetize what you've done and really looking at those aspects of planning. I have to share one more thing that I found was so cool. I actually wrote in Juliet's Breakthrough Author Magazine.com, her monthly magazine, where I talk about how to sell books while you speak. And my mentor, mentor that I had many, many years ago before I met Julia, had shared with me how to be able to sell a majority of the room. And, one of the things that when I first tested this and ended up selling 65% of the room, I went to an event where there was supposed to be 500 people. I ordered 500 books. There ended up being just a little less than 400, but I actually handed out the book to every single person. This was part of the strategy. And then as I'm teaching and doing the PowerPoint, I had 3 touch points within the book for them to open up, go to, and read. And I included in that, and I made it easy, like you don't pick, oh, the 7th paragraph, the 8th paragraph. It's like something real easy to find. Okay, go to the top, first paragraph, or look at this quote, or look at this graph, or whatever it is that's there. And with that, also having an order form ready. And in the order form, I had a few different packages, but again, having them kind of on that lower end, everything under $500 in the various packages, because you want to get people to know, like, and trust you. So it was so wonderful. By the time we were done, I sold over 65% of the room just with that strategy of having them touch, feel, look at, experience, and be trained while they're looking at the book. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I would love to connect with you at meetshannon.com, and I can, really excited to hear about how you monetize your book, because there are so many ways to do that. I've just shared a few with you now. And with that, hope to see you in the future.